Well, guys, for those of you who are not, in here, all I can tell you is that this is a D2S group. And the next story, guys, to tell you is a story of a plateau. Everyone thinks plateau as a negative thing, as in, hey, I'm plateauing, I'm hitting a wall, and there's no way I can get better, right? Now, before that, guys, let me tell you guys a story of a man who wanted to become the best martial artist in the world, right? So he went on a quest. He went on a quest to find the Zen master, and this Zen master, he had all the skills necessary that he acquired over decades of training. Okay, so now, and this guy, he went to far away from here to look for the Zen master, guys. So, and then when he finally found the guy after months of trying to look for him, he came to the Zen master and said, Master, I want to become the best. I want to become the best ever in existence of even like as close to your level. And the Zen master said, okay, what do you think makes you so great? And he said, well, you know what? I've been practicing since I was a little kid. This is my life. I live this, and nothing is gonna stop me from becoming the best. And he said, okay, before we talk about anything else, I want to tell you the story about the Four Horsemen. So I'm telling you a story on top of a story, and it goes like this: you have 4 horses, and he said, you have the great horse. Okay, the great horse is the horse that you don't even have to whip it. It just goes. You get on the horse and it just goes forward, it goes back, it goes side to side. That's the great horse. The great horse is a gifted horse. The great horse is just like born, a beautiful horse. He just moves his hair like that and the whole world stops to see it. Now, then you have the good horse. The good horse is the horse that, you get on the horse and you have to kind of just crank it a little bit. So that's the way you can go forward, side to side, backwards, and so on and so on. And that's the good horse. I mean, the good horse is not as gifted as the great horse, but the good horse, it'll do. All he needs is just a little bit of a reminder that he needs to listen. Now, the bad horse. The bad horse is the horse that, it still goes forward and back, and it still goes side to side, but you have to kind of whip it a little bit more. You have to just remind it that it needs to move, it needs to go. And, well, the bad horse is definitely not as good as the great horse, but, it still listens a little bit. And then you have the worst horse. This is the ugliest horse in the world. It is the horse that nobody wants. It is the horse that, if you hop on the horse, it's not going to listen. It's just going to be fighting you back. It's going to be resisting your commands. But in order for you to tell the horse what to do, you need to whip it. Like so hard, like boom, and just whip it and over and over and over again until it feels the pain, until it's marrow. So you have to whip it so hard, that horse is going to feel the pain all the way to its bones. And the Zen master said, what horse would you choose?
The bad horse.
We have 4 horses, right? We have the great horse, we have the good horse, we have the bad horse, and we have the worst horse ever. What horse would you choose?
Me, the
worst horse.
The bad horse.
The best.
Okay, now.
Me, the best, but I'm sure he picked the worst.
But the best.
Because you guys know how we think.
Yes.
Right? But guys, he would choose the great horse. Because it's just out of human nature to want the best. You want the best in clothing, you want the best in shoes, you want the best in cars. Right? You want the best of everything. Right? And the Zen master said, that's what I thought you would say. I thought you would say that you want to be the great horse, that you want to choose the great horse. But truth is, guys, is that what we want? Do we want to be the great horse? The horse that has it all, that doesn't have to work a day of its life to be a great horse. The horse that it doesn't really struggle through anything. The horse that all it has to do is just show up and it sees the results.
No.
The horse that all it needs to do is just maybe take a little take a crash diet for a week and it sees great results. And next thing you know, it's bragging about how wonderful this thing is.
No.
I wish. Yeah.
Well, technically, guys, no, right? And here's the thing about the great horse, guys. The fact that the great horse is so gifted and naturally given everything, because technically it's entitled because it's the great horse, doesn't have to work for anything that is actually achieved. It was born into it. right? But what happens, you guys heard a lot of stories of people who have it all. They have the riches and you have the best things ever, and then all of a sudden they lose it all.
Yeah.
And then they even commit suicide,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? Because of the fact that what are they missing?
Life.
Fulfillment.
Experience.
Purpose.
Growth.
The grind. Now let me tell you why you're the worst horse.
Oh, thank you. I thought we were just bad horses.
No. Guys, we're here because
Bad,
of why
right?
we're here, guys, because we are the worst horse.
Bottom.
And the reason why I say that, guys, is because you guys have to, every single day you wake up, you have to work for it. Every single day you wake up, you need to make sure that you have plenty of sleep. You have to make sure that you get plenty of water. You have to make sure that your meals are prepped. And you have to make sure that every choice you make is a choice made for yourself. And not for your ego. I said, oh, I'm going to eat those hot Cheetos because they taste good. That's an egocentric choice. But you guys, because you're the worst horse, you know sacrifice and you know pain. That horse was hit a lot of times so we could listen. And you guys are going through a lot of sacrifices. You guys have made a lot of sacrifices. And that is teaching you a lot about, what do you think it is? Character. It's teaching you that, hey, you know what? I know I'm not gifted. I know that, I'm not nearly where I want to be at. But I know one thing. I know hard work, I know commitment, and I know pain. And because of that, you guys have more potential to become even better than the great horse. Because you know the grind. And here's the thing. Once you become that great horse that wasn't born a great horse, you become it. You don't borrow it, you become it. So if anything were to happen, guess what? You still have your mindset, you still have your skills, you still have your software update that we gave you through the D2S. Which means that you guys pretty much earned your place to be a great horse. And that's why we are here, guys, because we are in that position where we need to go through a lot of work to get where we want to be. And so far, the D2S Challenge, all it is a tool that we give you guys so this way you can be on route to become the great horse. And access is a struggle. It's getting like whipped like the horse. You missing a meal, that's a struggle. You missing a day of working out, that is a struggle. You going out with your friends and having, shots and having all that stuff, that's a struggle. It is part of being the worst horse. But guess what? Because you know where you're going, you know where you're headed, that's something that you embrace. And the reason why this is called titled Embrace the Plateau is because simply, guys, guess what? The plateau is the best place to be at. That's where the magic happens.
Yay.
Success doesn't just happen straight up in a line. It goes up, down, and then you're there for a while. But this is where everyone stops. Everyone stops right where the pain is happening. Right where you feel like, I'm reaching a plateau, it's getting too difficult, but I'm not seeing the results. But then, after a little while, if you just keep fighting for it, you boop, and boop, over and over, guys. So truth is, guys, if there's any time in your life where you feel like, hey, I feel like I'm reaching a plateau, tell you what, no, you're not. You just have to keep fighting through it. And you're going to see as you do that, that's how you get out of that. And the reason why people fail at their fitness goals is because that's where people quit. People start seeing like a little steadiness and they quit. Because they don't embrace the plateau. They don't embrace the pain, the sacrifice of being the worst horse. So the genes that you're going to try on today, guys, is really going to be a reflection of the choices you made. Now, obviously, guys, the goal is for them to fit you. But tell you what. Well, first of all, I'm sure they will all fit. But if they don't fit, what does that tell you?
Work harder.
Work harder.
4 weeks.
That's really all he tells you. That's all the genes are. A measuring tool for you guys to know whether the choices you're making are helping you to become a great horse, or you need to push harder, you need to whip that horse a little more. Because again, don't forget, you're the worst horse. One whip is not going to cut it. It's going to take like a lot of struggle. A lot of it. Okay? Guys, so let's do this, guys. We're going to do 3 things. We're going to, first of all, we're going to clean this. We're going to take your books away. We're going to go into your workout. And then, a little before the workout, we're going to put on the jeans. Okay? You might be a little sweaty, but it's okay. Alright? This is not the final try on of the jeans. Okay? Well, guys, so that's it. Let's do this.
Thank you.
Oh.